I want to thank first of all to all my team and the entire people here making this possible for us as a team together. Any one of you will find its own place, if not in our courses, rather in bringing their imagination to life by just prompting in Biela. Because as I said, now everyone and everybody, from kids to elders, from those who have the skills to those who they don't have the skills, are able to develop software. If you're not stepping now, you're not stepping into the future, and you are going to be grounded in the past. I want to thank first of all to all my team and the entire people here making this possible for us as a team together. Any one of you will find its own place, if not in our courses, rather in bringing their imagination to life by just prompting in Biela. Because as I said, now everyone and everybody, from kids to elders, I want to thank first of all to all my team and the entire people here making this possible for us as a team together. one of you will find its own place, if not in our courses, rather in bringing their imagination to life by just prompting in Biela. Because as I said, now everyone and everybody, from kids to elders, from those who have the skills to those who they don't have the skills, are able to develop software. If you're not stepping now, you're not stepping into the future, and you are going to be grounded in the past.
Hello, and welcome to another Thursday night build with the devs. I'm Adam, and with me tonight I have Robert and Daniel.
Hello.
How's it
Hi,
going,
Adam.
guys?
Hi, Danny.
Hi, guys.
How are
So
you guys?
tonight, you, as those of you who watched the episode last week, you watched us repurpose or rebuild one of the big sort of viral videos of the year was this company called Rehome. And Rehome was one of those companies that went on Dragon's Den. And for those of you who don't know, Dragon's Den is very similar to the American Shark Tank, where people stand up in front of investors and they make a bid about a business that they have, and they get either invested in or not based on the validity of that business and how realistic that business is to become a profitable business. So Rehome is one of those companies on British Shark Tank, which is known as Dragon's Den, right? And basically what they had an idea for was to take these model pieces from showrooms and from furniture shows and from all these places where they have these brand new pieces of furniture, and they're only used once. So basically, if I have a demo home at a show somewhere, and the furniture in that demo home after the show was over basically was being discarded or was being put away or not being sold because it was slightly used or it was last year's model. And what these guys did was they came up with this brilliant idea to be able to take that furniture and to resell it to people at a discounted price. So basically you were looking at something that cost, 80,000 pounds being available for 30,000 pounds. And I mean, that's a huge discount on an amazing, amazing piece of furniture, because if you think about it, these showroom pieces are really, really top notch, right? They're the best that the homes want to show. So you're looking at some really amazing stuff, and it was being sold and people could buy and they could take it at a huge discount. And the dragons on Dragon's Den, the sharks, they loved the idea and they invested in this business. And I think when they went through some of the sort of the financials of the business, what they ended up discovering what they designed was actually a web marketplace. So basically it had users and buyers and people who could take information and all kinds of stuff in this web marketplace of information. But it turns out that they had spent close to, over the course of time that they'd had the website up and running and the marketplace up and running, close to £4 million, right? And we thought to ourselves, that seems a little excessive for a marketplace that does what it does. So we put our dev team together along with Biela, and we challenged them, could you create the same sort of marketplace in Biela with the same sort of features? And so what we did last week was we started that process. Basically, we built that sort of that user friendly, that front end page where you could sort of take a look at the business itself, what it does. It offers, you know, some ideas about some of the furniture they had, and sort of set it up for you using Biella, right? And in under 1 hour, we had a very nice sort of front end website that was available. Now tonight we're going to work on that marketplace, and with Robert and Danny here tonight, we're going to continue working on that marketplace to allow you to see what Biella can actually do. And I'm pretty sure it will come in under 4 million, under 4 million pounds. What do you think, guys?
I think the same.
Yeah,
I
probably
don't
will
think
be
it will be 4 million.
under 4 million, let's say, for tonight at least.
Right? And
I would
any
be happy
leftover
to
from that,
receive that amount.
yes, any leftover under that 4 million, you know, I'm happy to help them, you know, use that money. So whatever we do tonight, I know that Robert and Daniel have got some ideas tonight to continue that website, so we can continue building this marketplace. And tonight, I think we can get something that's a very interesting feature that's similar in the style and the setup that Rehome had actually created. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what your plan is tonight with the show, right? Robert, start us off. What do you think you guys are looking to do here with regards to continuing the website that we did? And then before we start talking about the website, why don't we take a look at what we created already? Uh, Daniel, you want to sort of show us what we've got so far in what we've created?
Yeah, I can talk a bit about it. If maybe Robert can show it to us actually. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great.
Sure.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Can you see it, guys?
Yes,
yeah, everything
absolutely.
is right. Guys, as Adam told you, Rehome is a place where people sell pre-owned luxury furniture. So the whole point of it is that you need to connect the people who own this type of assets, this type of luxury furniture, such as exposition rooms, such as private individuals, with those that are looking for such goods. So we started by creating a platform, explaining this idea with, of course, a modern design. You can see how great it looks, slide animations, a very intuitive user interface and experience. And at the moment, we have a few rooms that are available, that are shown, so you can try to buy them. And we have only the front end ready. So this project that you're seeing now, the one that was created last week, as Adam told you, does not still have does not yet have any functionality. So you cannot actually list and try to buy the products, but we have the design and the structure of the website. And today, this is what we are going to do. We are going to start adding functionality to it, dashboards, so people can start listing products, and the other clients can start looking up and actually buying the furniture.
It's a very cool concept, in fact. I mean, the idea, I can understand why the Dragons invested in it. I mean, the whole idea of somebody taking furniture that was used once and it was being actually discarded or being, you know, not used ever again, and it was a big waste, really. So if we talk about the sustainability of this idea that they had, it's brilliant in the fact that rather than this furniture going to landfill or going to waste, what ends up happening is these guys took an idea and they made it sustainable in the sense that not only is the furniture being used, somebody's actually making money out of it, somebody's gaining something that they want. So on a whole larger picture, it becomes a sustainable business model, right? Which is something that's even more than eco-friendly. Eco-friendly is something that I can take furniture that's built out of reused styrofoam cups, for example. But this is something that takes on a much grander scale where it's not just eco-friendly, it's a sustainable business, a business that keeps everything into the environment and moving, so it's never in landfills or garbage, right? So for me, I really love that idea behind it. And the things that they had done with the some of the pieces, the discounts. I mean, why wouldn't you go for it? I saw a piece on their website today initially the retail price was about £89,000. It was a kitchen set, right, with a marble top and whatever. £89,000. They had it listed for £30,000. That's a discount of that's about 60, 63, 64% of a discount. It's really, really impressive in the fact that you could buy something at that big a discount. And it's still, like I said, it's not used. It was used once, right? So it's not like there's wear and tear on it. It's not like, so the fact that this business idea sort of, I can understand why the Dragons invested in it. Now it's up to us to show you how simple Biella can take that idea and sort of build on it, right? And what we're going to do tonight is work on those components that allow the whole web market to become something that is more interactive with the user. Now I want to be able to look at and to buy and to sell. And that's what we're going to do tonight with our prompt tonight. Is that right?
Exactly. Basically,
So-
we took some features from the original web, and we plan it with Biella, and we create the prompt what I have exactly here on Biella. Okay.
So the prompt is actually, it's somewhat of a long prompt, and it's a longer prompt because we've actually worked with the plan mode in Biella. So we've said to Biella, we have this website, we want to be able to do this now with it, we want to be able to buy on the website, we want to be able to put up things, we want to be able to see all the things that I need to do as a user. And not only just buy as well as sell, right? I want to be able to sell products as well. So as I'm wanting to design this, I'm in the plan mode Biella, and it's asking me questions, and we're working together, and we're creating this prompt. Now, this prompt in the end should be able to allow us to create sort of an interface. Is that right?
Exactly. So should I hit it to see what we'll do?
Let's hit it and see what it does, because we need this now to become more than just a static website, right? Basically, what we have here is a static website. What we need is something to become an interactive marketplace, right? So that we can have stock on hand, we can see what there is. Do we need to connect it to any kind of database here?
In general, yes, you should connect it. For now, we are not going to connect it. We are going to use some mock data because will take a little bit more time, and we want to have more features to be able to connect it to a database.
Exactly. So we're going to integrate more into it so that it becomes more user interactive, right? It's not just a buy and sell button like a sort of a market that you buy things on, see it and buy it. Here, there's going to be some more features that we're going to add to it. It's going to have the user in a buyer mode. You're going to have it in seller mode. You're going to have to talk about what the furniture is, whether it's dining room or home furniture, whether we're sofas. We want to be able to incorporate all those things into it, right? And once I do that, that allows me to do things like add features in, like filter by different rooms, filter by different styles of furniture, to be able to search by different things as well, right? So that's the reason we're doing this tonight, right?
Exactly.
I see you nodding there, Daniel.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that Rehome did very, very well, from what I read, they grew a lot by having really good search, a very good search engine for their own product. So, for example, you could only input your kitchen dimensions. So let's say you have a 4x3 kitchen. You would enter that on the website, and they would show you what pieces of furniture perfectly fit in your kitchen. So this is already such a big issue covered, because, okay, you're scrolling through them, they look good, something, your wife likes something, you like something, but you're not sure if it fits, or you need to check the dimensions, you need to measure them, to think about details, about corners and everything else. But if you come up with a very smart way of handling all of these, so these are details that none the buyer or the seller know just by top of their head. You need to think the entire process behind. You need to find a way to make sure to determine if a specific piece of furniture fits in a room, and then implement an algorithm on your website. So finding and solving problems that your customers don't even think of is a total game changer. So this is what you should, and we all should try to do to improve the experience of our users always and as much as we can.
I'm agree.
This is definitely what they call part of that user experience, the user journey, right? It's great to have a website that looks fantastic, but I mean, if it's not user friendly, if it's not intuitive, if it doesn't think of problems before I do, then it doesn't have that user experience. And that's what we're talking about here. This idea of, like you said, finding a piece of furniture that you love and you're ready to buy it and it's got a great price on it, but it's not made for my home. And I didn't think about that before I bought it. So they've taken the foresight to be able to tell you, this is the size of the room that this is made for. And at that point, once you see that as a user, what you're going to do is you're going to go, you know what? Here are the dimensions. Maybe I should go back and measure my kitchen to see that it fits, right? Yeah. I wouldn't have thought of that as the buyer, but the fact that they've thought of that as the presenter, as the seller of the product, shows me that, hey, maybe I need to look at those dimensions as well, right? So these are things that Biella does intuitively as well. It helps create that for you. So you've got a great idea for a website. Your website looks amazing. It's got the transitions. It's got the amazing font and the way the colors and the way everything moves. It's an amazing website, but the user experience at the end of the day is what you really need to be thinking about. And this is where Biella excels. It has this intuitiveness to think about the things that you don't think about. I can set it to do something for me, create a website, create a dashboard, create this, create that. But it has to be something that at the end of the day, I want to use it. I mean, I remember when they were first talking about website design, one of the first questions they asked is, do you prefer to have a website that's easy to use or an amazing looking website, right? And that's the first thing that they teach you. Do you want an amazing looking website or do you want something that's user friendly? And at the end of the day, an amazing looking website that your users can't use really is of no value to anybody. So the fact that Biella does that for you, and if you can't even you don't need to do that by yourself. If you're in that plan mode with Biella, right? It is thinking about these questions for you. Is this something you need to work on with your user? Is this something that you want? And it walks you through that user journey from somebody that starts your website and goes through the various sections of the website, and it shows you this is what you need to think about. So yes, it's great that I'm creating a website, or I'm creating a platform, or I'm creating a marketplace. But at the end of the day, these kinds of things are really important. So I love that Biella can do that. And it's something that it's not something that we think about, but this is where the A in the this is the I in the AI, right? The I is the intelligence, right?
Yeah. Should we check out what Biella managed to do, Robert, or what's the status?
Yes, sure. No, the status is finished, but I think didn't create any button where can I enter to the dashboard. I mean, we didn't even mention it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go.
The next step will be should be here on the top a button where we can do or a little login or user button.
Yes,
example, right,
exactly.
Yeah, so guys, this is very important. When you're working with Biella, the only thing you have to do is to ask for the features you want. So as you can see, we are expecting an easy way to go to the profile page, of course. So you need, I don't know, a login button or a profile button on the nav bar, as Robert said. But for some reason, Biella thought differently. It found a different way from our thinking, because we didn't specifically mention it and we weren't maybe clear enough in our prompt. So now that we found out that there is something we need to improve or we want it better, the only thing you have to do is ask Biella. So you just explain clearly as you would explain it to a child or to your friend, but you explain it to Biella. Also, I need a button where I can access the dashboards. And that's more than enough. for Biela to understand and to actually implement the improvement that we're talking about. And as Adam told you, guys, the plan mode is such a big and important, not big, an important feature and step of your project. Because if you're not sure about something in your project, or you have an idea but maybe it's not clear enough, or you want some guidance, using plan mode with Biela will do exactly that. It will guide you, it will ask you questions, and it will make sure to clarify and polish your idea. So let's say we want to do rehome, but we are not sure about what rehome is or how it works or what to focus on. You would start a new project, use plan mode, explain it your intentions. Hey Biela, I'm looking to build a similar platform to rehome. This is a used luxury furniture marketplace. What should we keep in mind? What are the pages we need? What are the flows and processes we need? And through these questions, first you can ask Biela for guidance, and then Biela will ask you clarifying questions. Through this entire process, you will build the necessary context for creating your project. Because I want to remind you, in the AI world, context is the most important thing. So, because an AI knows a lot, knows the world, but it doesn't know you. So it has access to all and any information on the planet, but not your personal in-house details. Giving your personal details, saying, hey, my name is Adam, I do this, I want to create a website, a marketplace such as Rehome. It gathers all the information it has, but it focuses on your needs. So this is the way of working with an AI. You need to create a proper context, and plan mode is one of the best ways of doing that. Now, let's get back to Robert and check out what happened over here.
It's saying that it created on the top a button, but I can see it. I'm trying to publish the website. Maybe it's there on that version, or if not, I will take a screenshot and visually maybe can understand that I cannot see it, or maybe it's hidden, or maybe it's on the behind of here. So
Yes.
let's see the deployment first.
Now, Robert mentioned here something that he takes screenshots, and basically you can take a screenshot of something in Biela and show it what you'd like it to fix. And there are several ways in which this can be done. And Robert likes the screenshots. I'm still a little bit old school. I like the one we call the magic button. And I don't know if you guys will see it. In a minute, we'll come back to it. But the magic button does something very similar. Rather than take a screenshot and putting it in the chat box where I do my prompts, I take that magic button and I highlight something. And basically when I highlight it, it takes that piece, puts it in the chat box and makes the correction that I need to make the correction to. And in a moment when Robert comes back, we'll talk a little bit about the differences between fixing things with a screenshot or with the magic button, and we'll point out where the magic button is. But you can see Robert's taken a screenshot here and it's pasted it right above the chat box there. And you can see that little square with the circle and the X. That is the screenshot, right? So Biela knows exactly what it needs to fix, where that picture came from, and it can focus on that one piece. Now, Robert, I'm not saying to do anything in a moment, but show us the magic button that I love to use. In a moment.
Sure. Right now it's not possible because it's a feature where you will edit, and now it's Biela it's editing. So
yes, exactly.
Once it's Biela stop, you can have access. It's basically here.
But there is a recurring theme. Daniel, what's the theme we use every week? What's that phrase that's become our catchphrase every week?
Well, we have multiples, but the one that I love is Ask Biela.
Ask Biela, right? And I think that's become the catchphrase.
Yeah, if you are not sure about anything or something is not working properly, ask Biela. That's it. Use plan mode or use build mode. Just describe your problem, ask Biela, and it will fix anything for you. Maybe
I think that's
become
our go-to.
Sometimes we have some problems such as this button that it just didn't work from the first try, but the technology behind it is evolving. Biela is evolving. The LLMs that are powering Biela are evolving. So building this technology around AI is us paving the way for a greater product in the future, because as the LLMs behind it evolve, the entire experience around Biela and anything that we do here at Teach Me Code Institute also evolves and goes to the next level with each individual update.
Exactly.
It's true, but I mean, that's the theme that I want to keep in mind. I love that's the theme, right? You know, ask Biela. I mean, it's become our unofficial logo, right? We use that phrase a lot. And on Thursday nights with the dev, I mean, it's one of those phrases that comes up again and again, right? I mean,
Yeah.
as much as these guys know about development, and let me tell you, between Robert and Daniel, they have over 40 years probably of development experience between the two of them. The fact that they can sometimes need to ask Biela shows you how much knowledge the AI actually has. That it has all that information plus, right? Robert, did it do what we needed it to do?
Yes. For example, it was mentioned your name last time in the last live, Adam.
I'm not sure why.
Basically, because Biela mentioned something very funny. For example, you can read it. The layout will feel much thicker and more premium, exactly how Adam likes it. So maybe.
Yes.
I've
always asked yes for a premium look, right? It's just me. Maybe I'm a little bit, but I always like to have that premium look.
Most probably Theo mentioned you or something, and this is why
Yes.
it was a little bit like, why it's mentioning you, I didn't mention your name at all. Okay, let's go back to the website. Basically, I took the screenshot because I couldn't be able to see it, okay? And what Biela told me, it's got it. The button was added to the wrong place in the GSX. So basically, it assumed the own error and it fixed it. Okay, so let's try the button.
There it is, right? There it is.
Okay, so we have overview, my orders, okay, my purchase, wish list, my sales, and of course my profile where I can modify my data or delete my account or whatever.
Of course, right?
Do.
And then this is something you need to think about when you're building this kind of marketplace website. It has to be able to have all these things in there for various people, not just for one, right? If I would decide I want to work with Rehome and I have some new furniture that I had bought and it's not for what we want, or it's not the look my partner wants these days, then I'm going to be able to swap that over, right? And I need to be able to have a profile in the site. So Biela created that, and it's created it, and it allows you through a database to sort of to have that information available, to be updated, to to see what I'm selling, to see maybe even to move the prices, right? I mean, one week it might be one price and it might be on sale. So exactly. All those options have to be available. I have to be able to access all that and be able to sort of to fill it in and to update it, right? And Biela is able to do that with those prompts that we give it, right? Hear the prompt, and the more detailed we sort of give it, the better it does at this, the better it does at working through this, right? So, and look at these. I mean, sometimes I don't want to sit and write every time, every piece of furniture that I have. It's created a drop-down menu, right? Exactly. Again, user experience, right? As a user, I don't want to have to type everything out every time. If I have a drop down, that's better for me. All right. So this is what it's done on the first stage, right? There exactly. You go. And your item has been submitted. Yes. Daniel, what were you thinking about when you first saw this web marketplace and you heard the idea that they had behind this? Why do you think, and I'm still wondering myself, even if it was only, a year old or just under a year old, why do you think they got to £4 million for their marketplace?
Well, when it comes to costs like this, unfortunately, it's not a unique case in the IT industry and in the software creation industry, because there are many companies that are selling software licenses or that build software on top of other people's main infrastructure. So because the Rehome didn't own their entire architecture, but used specific third-party libraries and built on top of them, they always had to pay royalties and licensing fees to those specific companies. And also, as their database grew, as they had multiple more users and more listings, they had to pay a lot more for those services, for the database services. From what I read, of course, from what public information I managed to find, because I was also pretty curious to see how did that happen. But as far as I know, after their Dragon Den appearance, they managed to migrate to a new product, to a new software product that is built completely by them. So they own it. So those costs are now a lot smaller. This is one thing that you guys have to pay attention to the software companies that offer very costly consultants and licensing costs and licensing maintenance contracts over long periods of time, that increasing cost per user or per your database size and stuff like that, because it's like a snowball. All of them just gather around and they become more and more costly for your business.
That's a great analogy. Absolutely right. It is like a snowball, and as your database grows and as your users grow, you find that it gets bigger, and as it gets bigger, it gets more expensive. So, how does Biella sort of compete with that so it doesn't happen with Biella?
Well, the main thing with Biella is that, of course, you own everything that Biella builds for you. So just by using Biella, you own your products, you own your software. So you don't have to pay any licensing fees to any third parties, and not even to Biella, because once you created your project, it's completely your own, and that's it. You can do whatever you want to do with it. You can host it on Biella, you can host it on a third-party hosting provider. So we don't try to, let's say, catch you and keep you under Biella stack. We offer you the opportunity to download your project, go to any other hosting provider if that's what you wish. But to be fair, the advantage of being in the Biella ecosystem is that we handle almost everything for you. You don't need a domain name. You don't need to pay for hosting. You don't need to worry about your hosting for setups, for creating new accounts, and many hosting providers are actually paid services. So using a Biella, you can host your website without paying anything else. This is what we're trying to do. We are trying to offer you the complete solution from A to Z, but we are also offering the opportunity and the chance for you to take your product, own it, and do whatever you want with it.
And again, as businesses grow and as these sort of ideas become more and more common, and more people are building things like this, these marketplaces, these web domains, these ecosystems, all of them are becoming more than just websites these days. So when I want to think about when I'm scaling something up, I need to think about some of those costs. And if I own everything, and if everything is hosted by Biella and helps me with the domain and the hosting and all of that, it becomes something that I don't need to worry about right now, because now is the opportunity. Now I need the time. Now I need to be able to grow the business. Now I need to be able to scale the business. And with Biella helping with all of that and making everything mine, so I own it, I'm responsible for it. I don't need to worry about royalty fees. I don't need to worry about consultants and designers and architects. At the end of the day, that's how you grow a business, right? These things, and they tend to grow, as Daniel mentioned, very much like a snowball, right? So as your costs go up, they're only going up because your users are going up. And that's a good thing at the end of the day, right? You don't want to offset those growing numbers of users that you have, or those clients, or those people visiting the websites. you don't want to offset that with costs that increase with them exponentially, right? So Biella allows you to build and to keep things within an ecosystem that controls the cost, yet the size and the scale and the growth you have is unlimited. And it, like Daniel said, if you want to take it to that next level, if you want to take it and host it on your own sort of your own domain or your own server, that's up to you. We don't hold you to it. We're only here to support you in the sense that we can help you develop all your ideas. And we come back to this question again. If I don't know what to do, ask Biella, right? So Biella is there sort of walking me through and holding my hand through the whole process for a reason. Because at the end of the day, what I want is I want to build something that can scale, right? And that's part of the, you know, the advantage of using a site like Biella, right? So I think it's amazing. And I think that once we finish with this sort of this revamp of Rehome, we'll see that in the end of the day, it had come in a little under £4 million. Robert, you're muted.
Might be muted.
Sorry, will come under £4 million, that's for sure. But let's not forget that it's a complex website also. It's not just a website, it's also a service. So the people will expect that with few, maybe with few tokens, we'll finish the entire things. It can be possible, but you need to think about the cost of. You need to be very specific with your prompt. Okay, this is why it's important to make good prompts, to make a plan before you start such a big software like this. Okay, and before you start even with Biella, you need to know exactly what you want to do. If you don't know, ask Biella, of course. Go to plan mode and start asking, but at least you need to have the path. You need to have a little knowledge of what your business will be, or what the business of your client will be, for example, if you are offering this kind of software to other people. But it's important to make a planning. It's important to know exactly what you are doing. Otherwise, you will spend more and more tokens, and you got frustrated sometimes. What it's happening also with us, with the devs, when we are these days coding with vibe coding with other LLMs, and the importance of knowing what you are doing, is the most. Okay.
What do we have now up on the website? Yeah, show us a little bit about the website.
Okay, I just create a new prompt, a little one, a short one, because every website should be managed on a very important dashboard. What is the admin dashboard? Okay, so what I said, I need something very important. I need an admin dashboard where I can manage the whole web. Okay, so let's see what we'll do here. I can delete posts or create ones, or manage users or create users, everything what it's on my hands, right? Because it's my website. I have to have the total control on it, right?
And this is something important to have that admin option, right? It's not even an option, really. I mean, I can't be having a website or a web marketplace or a web app where I don't have complete control at the end of the day if it's mine, right? And that ability to build that admin aspect, that admin dashboard into it, is exactly what Biella will do for us now. I mean, it's going to allow me to have certain features on there that not everybody has. And again, that's something that Biella automatically knows when it builds something like this. It's aware that this needs to be created for the user. So again, a lot of this stuff that we take for granted when we visit web pages, or when we visit marketplaces, when we visit ecosystems of web, you know, where you have all the services rolled into one. This is something that we just take for granted because we've just become so used to going to these kinds of sites and knowing what to do and going here and clicking there. But I mean, somebody has to think about the kinds of things that need to be part of that. It has to be built into it, right? And one of the most important things is that admin option, right?
Well,
If
you
I
can
want to
manage
be
your
able,
website from the um, database, but it's not
yeah,
the correct way to do it. This is why it's important to have something visual, because maybe you are not going to manage it. It's going to manage um, another supervisor or someone who needs to have
yes,
access and doesn't have the knowledge of a database. If you are not developer and you are going to manage the database, you can create the biggest mess in your company. So this is
absolutely.
why this is how it should be.
And these are the things that sort of work in the back end, aren't they? Right? I mean, we all go ooh and ah at that sort of that front end, and we see all the nice videos and the pictures and everything. But this is basically what keeps your business up and running. This is what keeps the marketplace working. This what keeps the platform running. Is that back end work, right? And that's probably the most important thing that Biella is able to help you with. I mean, when I remember the old days when we used to talk about coders and who used to code, there were front end and there was the back end. And I always, maybe I was misinformed a little bit. Maybe it was by the back end guys who told me. But from what I understood, the back end was a little bit more challenging than creating that front end. Now, I don't know where you guys sit on that. You're both coders and you've both worked, I think, in front and back. Any sort of thoughts on that?
Well, to be honest, I'll start with that. It really depends on what type of person you are, because front end is a lot about the detail, the visual detail. So you need to make sure maybe that you're respecting the design, or if you don't have a design and you create your own, you have to be a bit creative and to have the eye for that. When backend is mostly focused on raw logic and making sure you're exactly on point. So you cannot, let's say you're working on rehome, you cannot implement a payment system where you're not sure about the decimal. So a client ends up paying a lot more for the furniture than he was supposed to. So this is the main difference. And to be fair, I think I also prefer the backend, but nowadays with BLI, you don't even have to worry about those type of things, because
Yes.
when you're asking for something, let's say, as Robert now asked for the admin dashboard, this also includes the front end, the thing that you actually see with your eyes, the buttons that you press, and the back end, the entire logic behind it, what happens in the database. So there is of course still front end and back end, but as a vibe coder, as a BLI user, you don't really care about it. You just ask for something, and BLI handles everything behind the scenes, both what you see, both and what you don't see.
Absolutely. And that's what I was focusing on here is as a vibe coder working with Biella, I don't need to know either one of those. And I don't need to bother with I myself tend to be very sort of, I like to look at things. I'm very visual. So I think I like and I worry about that look and design. And if it was up to me and I was coding the old days, every website I would have made, every project, every platform would have been a mess because I wouldn't have been very good at the back end. But the fact that I have Biella now to control all that, to manage all that, to build all that, to sort of take care of all that, thank God for that, really, because now I can create a million websites and a million web designs and web apps, and they can all come out perfect because Biella handles those kinds of things, right? And
Yeah, and
that's really,
especially
yeah.
for people like you, having a tool such as Biella is great, because you said you like the details, you like to create the design, and now using Biella, you're able to bring your vision to life in a very easy way, because you don't need to start learning coding, you don't need to understand everything that happens over there, but you can clearly see the preview, you can see the website, you can see the corner that is not round enough or that color that doesn't match, and you can easily be an artist and create something visual and real that you can share with the entire world.
Yes, just ask Biella to fix it, right? Ask Biella. right?
Even if you want to know about front end and back end, you can ask Biela and you learn more.
Yes, absolutely, right?
Mhm.
I mean, this is something that this is probably the biggest reason why I love this platform. Biela works in such a simple and user-friendly way that I think it makes working with web apps and web designs and web applications and sort of websites and all of that now becomes easy to use for anybody. I mean, if you can type, it can do it. If you can talk, it can do it. I don't even have to type for that matter, right? It can be
Yeah.
done. It can be done through the voice activation option. Robert, can you just sort of hover over where that voice option is?
Sure, exactly. It's exactly here. Voice input.
Right? Yes, and it's not just available in one language, right? It's available. I can voice input in multiple languages, right? It has French and Spanish and
Sure.
Chinese and Korean and Japanese, all the languages you need to be able to work out those things. So I mean, the fact that this is so easy for people to use, biella.dev, I mean, give it a try if it's your first time with us tonight. If it's your first time watching this build with the devs video, this is the time to go to Biella, log on, register as a user, and just try it. I mean, it's so simple. You don't really need to know much more than what you do every day using any other web application, using Google or those other LLMs that you use. Just go onto the website, try it out, and see what you can develop with it, see what you can design with it. I mean, this is the reason we're on here every Thursday night showing you some of the things. Now, if you have ideas, if you have something that you thought you'd like to see built on, Thursday night with the devs, please leave the comments in the chat here. We're happy to look at them. We're happy to read them back, and we're happy to take, your advice or some of your suggestions, right? Every one of these projects started with somebody's idea. So Thursday night with the devs is our opportunity to get you involved in working with Biella. So is this where we are now? Where are we at now? Update us.
Let's check it. It added another button, as we can see. It's an admin, or yes, here is the admin. It's impressive, by the way. And let's take a look. Here are all the orders, I think, what the clients did before. Okay, here I can see the totals. For example, here I can manage it if it's still under processing, is confirmed, out of delivery, cancel.
Look
yes.
how important that is, right? Yeah, look how important that is to be able to know when something's out for delivery, and yeah.
Exactly. For example, let's say this was just confirmed. We can say it was canceled, okay, because something happened, and any user of this dashboard can manage it and can fix things or add items or whatever.
Yeah, the thing is that mostly we want our users, the seller and the buyer, to handle these things themselves. So once the seller actually sends the furniture to the buyer, the order would automatically, or from his profile, he would select it as ship. But the entire point of this admin dashboard is to supervise and manage and be able to manage any action on the platform. Because if a user comes to you with a problem, with a support request, you need to be able to help them out. Also, very important is the overview page that Robert showed us in the first section, but we'll go back to that. There you can see the inquiries, exactly what I was talking about. Once a user says, hey, something is wrong, I cannot contact the buyer has the wrong phone number, help me out. This is very important. You need to manage your app, because if you only create an app and launch it in the universe and you don't manage it, the chances of it being a success are way slimmer than if you actually put in constant work, manage, and take care. This is the keyword: taking care of your users, because they're your users. They're using your product, of course. So you need to make sure that their experience is flawless. You need to listen to their feedback and resolve any kind of disputes. So until now, to have a short wrap up, we started with a landing page and with a design created by Theo and Adam last week. We are building Rehome, a marketplace for luxury pre-owned furniture. This week, this live stream, we started from the version that the guys created last week, and we implemented the dashboard for the profile for the user. So from their profiles, they can see what items they listed, what items they are buying or offering for, or even saving. Exactly what you guys can see now, because it is very important. We are adding the logic, the brain behind the platform, so that the users are actually able to use it and to create the transactions we are talking about. And more than that, and guys, I want to remind you, everything you see here, or everything I'm talking about, the user profile dashboards for buyers and sellers was created using only one prompt, nothing more than that. And then after we checked that out and we made sure that everything is in order, we had a few prompts, like 2 or 3 prompts for one button, but that's all right. We have to go forward. We actually implemented the admin area with the overview, the orders, rooms. You can manage everything. You can see the flow of your website and of your app. You can see when people are using it, how many people are using it, how they're using it. This is very important to understand um, their behaviors, let's say. So this is what we managed to do in like 4 prompts, including the button issue. This was some only for a wrap up, guys. Let's check out what's, I don't know, some of the most important features in the admin dashboard, because I'm sure Biela thought of something that maybe we didn't think of.
Look, speaking of think about and work with, if you join us next Thursday, we have a very, very big announcement on the show. Designing with the devs, developing with the devs Thursday nights. Next week, we're going to be using Biela Enterprise. Now, Biela Enterprise is a type of Biela, I guess it is. It's like Biela on steroids. We can basically do everything without having to worry about all these little things we need to add in ourselves. And it's sort of a little bit of a teaser, but I mean, join us next Thursday for Enterprise, Biela Enterprise. And what we design and develop next Thursday will be something you don't want to miss. And believe me, I'm very excited to be here with you. I can't wait to see what we're going to do and how Biela Enterprise works. So the things that we can do with Biela Enterprise, you got to see it. You got to see it. So next Thursday, same time, same channel, and remember to join us. For the guys tonight, I love what you guys did with this. I know that we've put it under 4 million. So Rehome, that extra money, here I am. You can always call me. Daniel, Robert, thank you so much for your work tonight. Thank you for explaining a lot of the things that I don't understand every time, but you guys made it all easy. And the work that you guys did with that website, that sort of that admin, that dashboard, very important stuff. And I think the users now understand a little bit more about how important it is to be able to have a user-friendly website. And as Daniel says, what did you say? More important than user-friendly, but
you caught me off guard.
Yes. But it's important to have that website, that you're able to have it for your customers. And like Daniel said, they are your customers, and they're only going to stay with you if they're able to understand and use your website in a very comfortable way and in a way that works for them, right? So from me, Adam, and from Robert and Daniel, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Look forward to seeing you next week.
One more thing, the people should don't forget that we have a Telegram channel and also Discord, right?
Yes. Look, if you are designing a website and if you do run into difficulties or need to ask questions, right? Don't forget, Biela.dev has an option where you can speak to the developers. You could speak to Robert or Daniel through our Telegram website, which is available on the website. And we also have a Discord group as well where you can ask questions, right? And if you go to the Biela website and you're a registered user on Biela, You can find it literally right at the top of the page there. There is the
There
access
you can
to
find.
yep, there's the Discord site, right? And be able to ask questions live, right? So whatever questions you have are available to you live. So from me, Adam, and Daniel and Robert, thank you guys. We'll see you next week with Biella Enterprise. All right, looking forward to
Okay.
that. Good night, guys. Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
so much. Good night.